He is known for being the first existentialist philosopher. He is recognized for his critical texts on organized religion, Christianity, morality, ethics, psychology, and the philosophy of religion. He is Søren Kierkegaard. In the quaint city of Copenhagen, Denmark, lived a man named Søren Kierkegaard. Born into a devout Christian family, Kierkegaard's upbringing shaped his path towards becoming a theologian and philosopher. But he was not content with merely accepting the truths handed down to him. No, Kierkegaard had a burning desire to delve deep into the complexities of life, to question the very essence of existence. With a pen in hand and a mind brimming with curiosity, Kierkegaard embarked on a journey of intellectual exploration. He wrote extensively on topics such as organized religion, Christianity, morality, ethics, psychology, and the philosophy of religion. His words were laced with metaphor, irony, and parables, challenging the reader to look beyond the surface and confront the profound questions that lay beneath. Kierkegaard's philosophy emphasized the significance of individual experience and choice. He believed that true understanding came not from detached observation but from subjective engagement. His work explored the intricate relationship between man and God, emphasizing the importance of faith and personal commitment. Kierkegaard's critique extended to the institutionalization of religion, urging individuals to seek a genuine connection with the divine rather than adhering to a state-controlled version of faith. As the years passed, Kierkegaard's influence grew, reaching far beyond the borders of Scandinavia. His ideas on subjective and objective truths, the concept of the night of faith, and the three stages of life resonated with philosophers, theologians, and seekers of truth across Europe. Kierkegaard's legacy as the pioneer of existentialist philosophy was firmly established, his works translated into numerous languages and studied by generations to come. Friedrich Nietzsche once remarked, "My life will recur in exactly identical fashion." And indeed, Kierkegaard's impact on philosophy in Western culture would endure, forever etching his name in the annals of intellectual history. Søren Kierkegaard, a philosopher often referred to as the father of existentialism, had a unique perspective on faith and subjectivity. He believed that true faith required a leap, a commitment that went beyond evidence or rationality. In his view, faith was not a decision based on objective truth, but rather a deeply personal and subjective experience. Kierkegaard emphasized that faith involved doubt. To truly have faith in God, one must also question their beliefs about God. Doubt, he argued, was the rational part of thought that weighed evidence and prevented blind credulity. It was only through doubt that faith could have substance. Kierkegaard wrote, "Doubt is conquered by faith, just as it is faith which has brought doubt into the world." Central to Kierkegaard's philosophy was the importance of self-reflection and introspection. He believed that the self's relation to the world was grounded in subjectivity. Kierkegaard famously stated, "Subjectivity is truth, and truth is subjectivity." This meant that individuals could believe in the same things but relate to those beliefs differently based on their subjective experiences. For example, two people may both acknowledge the plight of the poor, but only one may decide to take action and help them. Kierkegaard also critiqued the reliance on statistics and objective knowledge. He saw them as a barrier to truly understanding and engaging with life. He questioned whether it was more challenging to be a teacher who spoke about profound matters far removed from everyday life or a learner who had to apply that knowledge. He believed that true understanding and growth required a personal connection and engagement with the subject matter. In Kierkegaard's view, faith consisted of a subjective relation of absolute commitment to religious doctrines. He recognized that objective certainty about religious beliefs, such as the existence of God or the life of Christ, was impossible to attain. Instead, faith required an unwavering commitment, even in the face of doubt. Kierkegaard's philosophy on faith and subjectivity continues to provide insights into the human experience. It challenges us to question our beliefs, to recognize the significance of our personal perspectives, and to embrace the complexities of faith in our daily lives. Kierkegaard's philosophy has been the subject of both praise and criticism by philosophers throughout the 20th century. One of his famous critics, Emanuel Levinas, focused on Kierkegaard's ethical and religious stages, particularly in his work Fear and Trembling. Levinas argued that the leap of faith and the suspension of the ethical in the religious realm is a form of violence. According to Levinas, this abandonment of ethics in favor of belief leads to the relegation of ethical phenomena to secondary status, which, he believes, has contributed to the immoralism of recent philosophies. Levinas also challenged Kierkegaard's interpretation of the story of Abraham and Isaac. He questioned the idea that Abraham's faith justified his willingness to sacrifice his own son. To Levinas, this transcendence of ethics seemed like a loophole to excuse potential murderers from their crimes. It also suggested that Levinas viewed God as a projection of inner ethical desire rather than an absolute moral agent. However, Kierkegaard argued that the religious sphere is not separate from the ethical sphere. He believed that Abraham's faith in God's command to sacrifice Isaac was rooted in the belief that God is always ethically in the right, even when he commands something seemingly immoral. Kierkegaard emphasized that God, as an absolute moral authority, would never allow Abraham to commit such an ethically heinous act. This understanding of faith and ethics intertwined in the religious realm was a central point in Kierkegaard's fear and trembling. Another critic of Kierkegaard, Jean-Paul Sartre, objected to the existence of God based on the idea that a sentient being cannot be complete or perfect if existence precedes essence. Sartre argued that God, as a pour soi who is also an en soi, is a contradiction in terms. However, critics of Sartre's objection pointed out that it rests on a false dichotomy and a misunderstanding of the traditional Christian view of God. Kierkegaard's philosophy continues to provoke thought and debate in modern times. His exploration of the relationship between ethics, faith, and the religious sphere offers valuable insights for our daily lives. It encourages us to critically examine our beliefs, question the boundaries between ethics and religion, and strive for a deeper understanding of divinity and morality. Søren Kierkegaard, born into an affluent family in Copenhagen, was influenced by his parents in different ways. His mother, Ane, was described as unassuming yet protective, wielding influence on her children. His father, Michael, was a stern man with a deep interest in philosophy. Kierkegaard followed his father's beliefs as a child, heavily influenced by his devotion to rationalism. He also found inspiration in the writings of philosophers such as Plato and the figure of Socrates. Kierkegaard had a deep love for the streets of 19th-century Copenhagen, often walking along the crooked paths where carriages rarely ventured. He took solace in the thought that he was a man whom every poor person could freely approach and converse with on the street. He did not shy away from contact with the poor, greeting maidservants, manservants, and common laborers. This genuine Christian satisfaction was a testament to his compassion and accessibility. In his pursuit of understanding forgiveness, Kierkegaard came to hope that no one would bear the burden of their sins once forgiven. He believed that true believers in forgiveness would not live their lives as objections against its existence. He emphasized the devastating fear of not finding forgiveness and sought solace in the prayer, "Father in heaven, hold not our sins up against us but hold us up against our sins." This prayer reminded him not of his own transgressions, but of the divine forgiveness that saved him. As Kierkegaard delved into his studies, he attended the School of Civic Virtue and later studied theology at the University of Copenhagen. Dissatisfied with philosophy and historical works, he sought to lead a fully human life and not merely one of knowledge. He did not want to be a traditional philosopher or preach an illusory form of Christianity. He drew inspiration from his father's belief that one can do what one wills, as his father's own life had not discredited this theory. Kierkegaard's early years shaped his philosophy and approach to life. His compassion for the poor, his exploration of forgiveness, and his desire for a fully human existence all influenced his later works. As we navigate the challenges of daily life, Kierkegaard's philosophy reminds us of the importance of empathy, forgiveness, and the pursuit of authenticity.
Do you want to explore more philosophers? Who do you want to see featured next? Subscribe and leave a comment below to let me know. I'll see you in the next video.